interview.
It's fine.
When y'all gonna call me on freeway again?
We could do it tonight.
Not tonight, because I got something to do. I'm babysitting tonight. But
Girl, you chasing our niggas.
But no. Okay, the interview about to resume. Can y'all go ahead on and clear out the last gift goal up there? I think I see it. I think that's on one. But for the most part, we need the CAs to go because my cousin's trying to get out of her mobile home. So I love it. Big legs, bitch. This your last time. Don't get dropped. Don't get muted for the live. Okay? But this is the last time, guys. Can y'all please send CAs, Apple Pay, Zelles? I know these bitches didn't cut the lights off. I'm trying to get gas. I'm about to run out. Never mind. We finna the interview about to resume. Because these bitches don't cut the lights off and I'm about to run out of gas.
So we're gonna have a big announcement after these, where we're gonna take this thing to the next level. Proceed, Heartbreaker. I'm sorry. Sometimes some stuff just run through us like a freight truck. I ain't lying. I think we was at program.
Thank you for the CA. It says this is good to me. Thank you, boo. So I don't know where we were. Oh, the program.
Mm-hmm. Was at? What made you want? We already heard this, and we gonna.
So I went to the program. Not the program. I went to juvenile for 21 days, 21 working days or whatever. Got out. I was like, "Ooh, bitch, I'm not going back in there." Got out. I'm still problematic in school. At this time, I'm in a school called EBMI. It's Gambia Bay Marine Institute. It's an alternative school.
I heard
kicked out of there. Got kicked out of there about 2 weeks later because my mom sat up there and let me purchase cleats to wear to school. I go to school with cleats on, thinking they're like high heel sneakers or something.
I heard that story.
Yes, so I get kicked out of there because they was messing with me. And then I go to AB Clubs, which is another alternative school. Got kicked out of there. Ended up going to Brownsville. Got kicked out of there. Ended up going to Brentwood. And then next thing you know, I'm back in juvenile. And I'm running away again. And I'm in the streets for days and days at a time, all throughout the night. And I'm doing some of the most wildest things in the streets. I'm experiencing the most craziest shit in the street.
Like what? If you don't mind, you can know what I'm gonna pass. If you say pass.
Pass.
All right. Continue.
Yes, please. And so the streets was getting a little dangerous for me and the things that I was exposing myself to.
And how old are you at this time so we can have a
I'm 13. I'm 13 because I had only did 21 days.
1-3.
Yep.
Jesus.
So at this time, I'm out of control. I'm off the chain. I'm not no virgin. I'm smoking weed. I'm drinking secret.
Why aren't you a VI or a GIN? Why aren't you? Tell us.
I was violated.
It's some people that they lose their VV, what it is, V card. Thank you. V card. Unprovoked. Did not put it through a slot. Somebody just.
Yeah, so I was violated during the Hurricane Ivan thing, and so when we had to stay away from home.
I'm sorry.
So at that time,
I'm totally sorry. I'm totally sorry.
My mom, it's not necessary. My mom, like I said, she didn't bring no man around us, nothing like that. But when you have to go stay elsewhere, when we have to go stay at my aunt's, we're around people that you think you can trust. But when you're in a house full of girls, your mom don't bring men around you. You typically walk around pretty carefree, like big t-shirts. It's common in the South to go to sleep with big long t-shirts on as girls, and your socks and stuff and your drawers. So that's just how we was there, thinking that things could be trusted. Didn't happen. So when that little violation thing happened, I became very hypersexual, and then I just turned into a full-fledged thought because I didn't understand the difference. You
was never a thought. You still legit.
Okay, let me refer to where I was.
You still a kid. You still a
Okay.
kid.
Understood.
That's number
So,
one.
okay, understood. So there's this one thing that I was really addicted to. And I was like, I'm going to get that by any means necessary. No matter what I got to indulge in, I'm going to get that. And I did. It's not appropriate to say. And those things happen. But anyway, I'm not. So then I ended up back at my mom's. And at this time, my sister done boosting. So I'm like, we boosting? You know, they boosting or whatever. And so I jumped on that bandwagon, you know, boosting and stuff. And we was doing really good with that. Stealing all kind of stuff. Coogee, Iceberg, Polo, Tommy Hilfiger. We would go on Dillard's and just swipe the whole table of 504 jeans, Levi's, just, you know, pulling up car, popping the trunk, boosting, making money and stuff like that. That was also problematic or whatnot. And can we do the two? I don't think so. I don't know, Maggie. So we would do, we was doing that. I just was becoming more and more and more of a problem. And then I ended up having to go to court because, like I said, I still had cases even after, I still had that case even after doing the 21 days. I was still under the juvenile supervision. So I ended up going and my mom's like, y'all just need to keep her. My mom's like,
need to keep you. Why?
My mom said, y'all need to keep her because all the things I just said I was doing. I was running away. I was indulging in things and I was, I started boosting heavily, like boosting. And so I ended up staying in juvenile and the judge sentenced me to my first program. It was a 6 to 9 month program. And I went to Sawmill Academy for Girls in Tallahassee, Florida. And you usually get out in 6 months with perfect behavior, 9 months if you're bad. I think I stayed about 13-ish months. Got out.
Excuse, wait. You were sentenced to 6 to 9 months.
Ended up doing about 13.
Why was you 9 months is the max?
Nope, you can stay longer. Just not true.
You can stay. So what made you stay longer?
I was cutting up. I was misbehaving. I was very defiant and disobedient.
Was it deliberate?
Yes. I was just a problem. I was just being
because you didn't want to go home.
No, at that time I did want to go home. I just couldn't help but act the fool. I was just cutting up. And I found comfort. It was fun. Like it still was not a big deal. That's back like at night they would let us go outside and they would play Shawty Wanna Ride With Me. That was my favorite song by what's his name? Shawty Wanna Ride With Me. So that song still like takes me real back. It was real nostalgic. Like to get me to calm down, they used to play a song called Shawty Wanna Ride. And I don't know, it was just by Young Buck. So I was just so bad, but I had found it was like a community in there. I had started acting up. So anyways, that happened. I ended up getting released out of there. Sawmill Academy for Girls. Thank you for the gifts. And then I ended up going home for about a month. I go home. I said, oh, ain't shit changed. Running away again. So I'm back running away again. I'm doing all the stuff that I was enjoying.
Even on your break from kid PRISON.
I was fresh out. Yeah. I was released with conditions, still under supervision. Back doing the same shit. It's time to go to court to check in. My mom's like, keep her. She's on the same shit. So this time they said, your daughter with the mental health evaluation, she has a lot of trauma, which was very true. And so, at that time I was sentenced to a mental health program called Milton for Girls Juvenile Facility. Now, if you Google that, you're going to see horrific things because they did horrific things to us and it's closed down. But anyways, so it was in Milton, Florida, right outside of Pensacola.
Can you elaborate on any of the...
They beat us up. They were fucking the girls. It was just like a lot of stuff.
Who was FUC
The staff.
Other men and women.
Yes. Or you can just pull up the ad yourself too. So I went to Milton for Girls, juvenile residential facility. It was supposed to be specialized around mental health and stuff like that. And it was pretty crazy in there. That's when I was exposed to a whole lot of shit. But we had a chef. The food was bussin'. That was my first time getting my eyebrows waxed. We would go to the movies. I was a stud in there unintentionally. That's my first time like having a sexual encounter with a girl. Cause you gotta think in Sawmill, I was just a baby. But in Milton, I was growing up. That's when I was like really getting the hang of it. And I don't know. That's when I was exposed to a lot. Well, in there, I had fallen in love with girls so bad, I really didn't want to go nowhere. You know? And the food was so good. Everything was just so good. I didn't want to go nowhere. So when it was time for me to get kicked out of there, I think I stayed in Milton for Girls for like 2 years. When it was time for me to get out of there, I got arrested out. Me and this girl named Terry, we ended up jumping on this girl named Latasha Duhart out of Tampa, Florida, to stay. They locked us up in confinement.
You don't gotta say nobody. You ain't gotta say that because you know.
Okay, so I had a situation in there too where a stud had performed oral on me. She's dead, so I can say her name. Her name is Erica Horn. She died a couple years ago of vent. Her name's Erica Horn. She had performed on me. Her and this girl named Christy Youngblood. She ended up going to jail.
What, when you say they performed on you, was it consensual?
No. And they were overage. They were 19 in a pod with they were 19 in a pod with girls that was under 16. So that age range supposed to have been in a pod with 16 and older. But they were in there with us.
How old are you?
At the time I'm 14. At this time, I think I'm about 14, almost 15. I think I'm 14, 15-ish. At this time, I was under 16. So at that time, my mom had put heat on the program. They already trying me and shit, so they ready to kick me out. I'm a liability. I'm not trying to go home though. You know, I'm in here talking, effing with all these chicks and stuff. I'm not ready to go home. So me and Terry, we got arrested out. And we got arrested out. They sent us to Panama City, Florida. And that's where I was really depressed. Santa Rosa, Panama City. I was depressed. It was like some shit overseas, like prison. Like I said, it's like the juvenile place where you're waiting on your next program. It was very horrific. It was 24-hour lockdown. You only came out for an hour to take a bath and eat. That was it. So just sitting there for months at a time waiting on a program. And so then I ended up at this place called Hope for sexual assault victims, stuff like that. It was a program specialized for that. So it was called Hope Center for Girls. And it was somewhere called Fountain, Florida. So I went there. That was nice. I was a little chilled in. This is where I was starting to mature a little bit. So I went to Hope and I was starting to mature there. It was all right there. I was kicking it. I started dating this girl named Latifa from Duval. It was all right. Me and her was in a relationship. She had a son. It was a thing. I was a stud in there too. And it was cool. Got out of there in time. No problem. But when I got out of there, I was right back on the bullshit at home. I think I was released 2 weeks. That's it.
How old are you?
At this time, I'm up there. I'm about 17. Because I stayed in Milton for a while. I'm about 17. I'm almost 17 when I'm in Hope.
Right.
Because I had to sit in juvenile waiting for Hope for a while. So I'm in Hope. I do well in Hope. I think I did about 9 months-ish in Hope. Get released from Hope. My mom and my stepfather come and get me. And I go home. I don't have a place at home. I guess because I've been away for so long. I'm like, I don't have a home here. They don't feel like home here. I don't know how to interact with my sisters. It feels like I don't know them. At this time, I'm speaking very properly as I do now because in the programs, you got in trouble for not pronouncing your words properly. You know, you can't speak slang or so. I just like, I don't know my sisters anymore and I don't have a room. I'm just excluded, kind of. So I'm like, man, fuck this shit. So I'm running away again. So 2 weeks, I think I'll say about 2 weeks go by. I go to court for my check-in, and my mom said keep her again. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go again. So I go again. And at this time, the judge sentenced me to a low risk program. And I'm like, fuck, I ain't never got sentenced to a low risk program. Always moderate or, you know what I'm saying, almost high risk. So I'm thinking,
why did she, you get out of the program while you 17, right?
Yeah, about 17.
And your mom, because I know it's a very sensitive subject. When it comes to me, from me to you.
My mom asked him to keep me because I'm exposing myself to dangerous activities in the street. So she was not wrong for that. Looking back, she was not wrong for that. It would say,
right. I stand on, like, if you can't get it right, like, you got to get it right one way or another. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I ended up going to court. She's like, keep her. I had to stay. Right. So, the judge sentenced me to a low risk program. That's usually 30 days to 90 days. I'm like, that's sweet. And he's doing it because I'm so old now. So I'm like, that's sweet. This fuck that ain't shit. That's a breeze, bitch. I be serving 9, 10, almost 2 years in programs. Cause I think in Milton, I was there almost 2 years. And so he sentenced me to the low risk program. In my head, I'm like, what's the catch? So I go there. It was a program called Outward Bound. It's outside of Jacksonville. I think it's on Amelia Island or something, like Yulee, Florida. And so we get there and I see a fucking tree house. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's a tree house. So they were like, yeah, but you gonna sleep in that. You gonna sleep outside. I said, outside? They was like, yeah, y'all gonna sleep in tents. So is this the reason that the program 30 days to 90 days? Because it's pure torture. So it's kind of like Nature Boy and them thing. You poop in your bucket. You didn't have to poop on the ground, but you poop in a bucket, you bury it. You pee in your bucket, you pour it out. You set up your tent. They teach you how to set up a tent. We cook outside. They gave us fresh oats. You warm up your water. They teach you how to start a fire. This, that, and the third. It was just torture. I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes throughout the night. They teach you how to properly dispose of your trash so that the rodent, like raccoons and stuff, don't come fucking with you. This one, I'm very depressed and very sad. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So they teach you how to canoe and stuff like that, which is scary because the only thing separating us from Georgia up there was a river. There's crabs. It's like some parts of the ground that was soft and it was just crabs. And one day, what fucked that up was they said, Benjamin, today that they're going to push you in the pool and force you how to swim. And I said, they're not doing that. And they say, yes, they is. They're going to push you in the pool because that's how they were teaching you how to swim. And I know that's like an old school way too. Well, we get to the swimming place. They pushing niggas in the pool. So I said, I ain't getting pushed in the pool. And they was like, oh yeah, Benjamin, yes, you are. That's going to teach you how to swim. And I told them, I said, the thing is this, if you guys push me in the pool, I'm going to unalive us all. And I was not kidding. I was like, that's going to be it for everybody. Everybody can just go ahead and get ready to say bye-bye. So they ended up calling the police. Duval County Sheriff's Office came, handcuffed me, and took me to the Baker Action Center.
For what?
For homicidal and suicidal threats. So
they pushing you in the pool. They pushing you in the pool though.
Yeah, because that was their tactic of teaching you how to swim.
Exactly. So why the fuck you going to jail for?
Because that's not jail. You cannot make those type of threats under no condition, Brison. You can't make those threats. I guess it's a behavioral thing. So, they take me there. I'm like, ooh, got my way out. Benjamin, that was my last name. So they refer to you as your last name. So I'm like, ooh, got my ass up out of there. So we get to the behavior place. It like everybody got full blown A's. It looked like everybody in here smoked dope. It was freaking me out. So at this time, this summer of that year, I'm about to turn 18 in August. They called the judge and asked the judge what they want me to pretty much do with me. And he adjudicated me an adult because I was about to turn 18 and they kicked me out. And I was so happy. So I had got out just shy of 18, just shy of turning 18 years old. So I pretty much did from 13 to 18 in juvenile.
Everyone did it because I need to take just a little moment. I gotta use the bathroom anyway. So Just hold it in for just a second, just like 2 minutes. Echo, can you play Happy Face, please?
Here's Happy Face by Jack.